All right, so a lot of us are very familiar with Willie Lynch and how to sell to a Negro and how to market to a Negro campaigns that existed within the black community. But nowadays, it's usually hidden. It's not really right in our faces. Like some of us, they can recognize it, obviously see it, but there's some of us that don't and think that all of these people out here are friends, all right? So Grant Cardone is letting us know how So Grant Cardone is letting us know how to talk to black people, how to market to black people, and how to get that audience on his side. So it's borderline disrespect. It's not even borderline disrespect. It's disrespectful and it's borderline racist. It is racist. Let's call it what it is. It's racist. We're gonna check out the clip. So Grant Cardone was on Lara Trumps show, and she was asking about his success, and he was explaining that. And a part of explaining his success, he was telling us that about half of his audience is black and under 40. But let's check it out. Let's see
And
what's
I'm
going on.
not tasteful half the time. Like I'm not. I mean, I look at stuff and I cringe. I'm like, oh my god, I'm sitting on the top
This.
of a. I'm sitting on a Rolls Royce
Oh,
the
I haven't seen that one. I'll have to go check that one out.
and I'm literally throwing money. Like so. Anyway, what I'm trying to do though is that's not going to appeal to you, right? But there's audiences, and I think the reason we have done well there is because it's very raw, it's fast, it's unedited, it's a little bit in your face. So anyway, what I'm trying to do though is that's
You heard that? So he says it makes him cringe where he's sitting on top of an expensive car, a Rolls Royce, and makes the motion like this. Now, where does this come from? What culture? Huh? Who made this move popular? Where do you see this often? And then he says to her, now, this may not get your attention. This may not be something that you would be into, but there is an audience. What audience is he referring to, you think? All right, let's tap back into it.
so for us, about half my audience is black under the age of 40. How did a white guy uh, attract an audience? Like if I'm out in public and I see a 55-year-old white man or a 25-year-old black kid, the black kid knows who I am. There's like
Wow.
there's a 10 times better chance, 10x, that the black kid knows me. Now the reason is because we go after that audience and we're talking to them in very street terms, if you will, very not big nomenclature, vocabularies.
Mhm.
We just keep everything very tight and simple. And at the same time, we've had raised $1 billion in the last 3 years over the internet from accredited investors. So we're hitting both bands. They're all.
Did y'all hear that? I don't know. I heard it. Did you hear it? We're talking to them in street terms. He's specifically targeting that audience. That's crazy. We talk to them in very street terms, not big vocabulary. This is on the subject of black people, on the subject of talking about marketing to black people and selling to black people and getting a black audience, getting the black audience's attention. This is the things they do. And as racist as it sounds and may be, is he wrong? Do we not position ourselves as the number one consumers on this earth? When we produce culture, we take no ownership of it, so we don't monetize off of it. Looks, styling, appearances, well, that's looks, music, media, language. Almost all of the lingo is black lingo. Like, all of it's popularized. Up in here, I hate when they go up in this piece and they got to do the weird stuff with their hands trying to imitate us. That's not how we talk. That's really nasty. Yo, what's up? Even when you go on YouTube and it's a white YouTuber, usually it opens up like this. What's up, YouTube? What's going on, guys? It may even be followed by, it's your boy. Where did y'all get that from? Where does that lingo come from? Who taught y'all that? See, even women's language, because black women make up a lot of lingo that becomes popularized in the culture, calling each other the B word, sis, I know that's right, Honey, Child, even the homosexual cultures, the people that imitate black women, they're imitating black women's euphemisms, lingo, characteristics. At least they're trying anyway. That's when you get people that start talking like this and rolling the neck and rolling the eyes, things that are usually attributed and associated with our black women is disrespectful, because then it puts our black women in a box where you think that this is the depiction in what a black woman is, and she's not just that. She can be some of those things sometimes, and of course there's going to be people that are full of those things, that are only that thing, but for the most part that is not the culmination, the completion of what a black woman is. So it's wild disrespectful when people are trying to imitate them. But all of it, the period, that's them, that's and is, that's all them. It's all them. It's all our black women. So when you see the culture, you go on TikTok and you see them copying our dances, and 10 years from now, people are going to think that the Jabberwockies invented breakdancing, because we don't ever take ownership of anything. We create it, we make it cool, then we leave it alone. It's like, how many black people do you see in baseball anymore? We was dominating that sport. They came and got us out of our Negro leagues to get us into their leagues. Wow. Full circle, because isn't that exactly what he's doing? You take the star black people, you put them over into those white owned leagues, and now the black audience that was once watching that pro sports player in our Negro leagues now goes over to the white owned league to watch our black stars play, and thus the black dollar goes into another community's pockets. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So we really got to take ownership. We really have to take pride. And granted, being that this is a new thing, a newer thing, this is the wave that we're riding right now. Black entrepreneurialism, black business, and those things. You're We're the infantile stages of it again, because we've lost our way from when it was very predominant. You know, like the Greenwoods, the Rosewoods, the Black Wall Streets, the Germantowns, the places all across America where black people thrived, and those cities were burned down, taken away. Eminent domain was issued and put into play. Things of that nature. We need to go back into taking ownership of our own and realizing that the white ice is not colder. It's really not. I don't know who taught us that. From thinking that from thinking that being lighter skin is better. Like, even all the recessive gene loving, we even got so many of our black women that really believe that straighter, looser hair is better than their own hair. That's why, like, in drones, you'll see a lot of women go into stores or going online to buy hair that looks nothing like their own, because years ago they've been taught that their hair is not beautiful. So then we really got to understand that white ice is not golden. Those bundles is not better than your hair. Black women grow the most perfect hair on this earth. It's just sad that so much of it is hidden behind other people's hair. This prosthetic hair is not, you know what I'm saying? But overall, we got to take ownership, or else we're going to be falling victim to things like this where, can we say he's lying? Can we say even clothing lines change their whole dynamic and campaign to include big logos and lots of monograms, you know, like the Gucci pattern, MCM pattern, Coach pattern, all these patterns, Dior patterns. Dior went heavy into their monogram again because they know black people buy monograms. See, what black people are not going to do is buy designer if you don't know what it is. It's a need to be seen. That's why it's racist, but is it a lie? Is it a lie? We will not buy designer. We won't buy anything without the logo. If you can't see the logos, we're less susceptible to buying it. If I'm spending stacks, hundreds on this Louis piece, I need you to know it's Louis. That's why you'll go get the pieces. You rarely ever see in our community all black designer with no logo on it. We really logo driven so crazily that it's even gotten to it's at the point where I remember when I went to school, we would play the dozens, we would crack jokes on each other, and people would get extra sensitive, and a lot of times that sensitivity would get to a point where they're, oh well, that's why my sneakers cost your whole rent. None of us had jobs. It wasn't our money. It was our parents' money, and we're playing that capitalistic, I make more money than you game. and we kids in school. But a lot of us grew up to be adults that do the same thing. So now we justify our spending and our security with ourselves by saying, oh, well, that's why my watch costs your whole mortgage or things of that nature. Something to that effect, but it's really corny. So we're really just grown ass kids doing the same thing that we did as kids, as adults. So where's the growth? It's nasty. We really pride ourselves on ownership of other people's brands. Like, we can participate in it, we can consume it, but are we producing it? And then if a black designer dropped today, are we going to support that? Probably not. Why? Because it's not known yet. It has to be known. It has to have big logos. It has to, like, they're not going to look at it. Look at it over the past couple years, how many of these brands strictly went to monogram. It's to the point that they know that it's two mediums. They're going to go heavy on monograms, heavy on logos, and that sort of stuff, and then go heavy on collabs because collabs get us too. And then they go heavy on basic pieces with just the name on it. So much so, like, you can go buy a Barbary shirt. It just says Barbary. Why'd you buy it? What was so fire about the way they put Barbary? No, it's like an Arial font, a basic ass font. So it wasn't because of the font or anything, of the styling of it. Stop playing. But again, it's our insecurity as us thinking that we need these things, these designer things, these quote unquote expensive things to feel better about ourselves. And look at the position it puts us in. It allows other cultures to corner the market. Why do you think Chinese restaurants stay in the ghetto so heavily? Why do you think chicken spots stay in the ghetto so heavily? Are they owned by Native Americans? Americans from here. Are they owned by us? Are they owned by the people that made it popular? Fried chicken and macaroni and cheese are black foods. Black foods. Chinese restaurants are only here and so popular because in the 1950s they passed a bill that said the Chinese people couldn't come here unless they were coming here to work. So they got work visas, and who do you think they were hiring as the employees? Who do you think? Family members. Of course I'm gonna hire my family, and that's why they're everywhere. But if there wasn't money to be made in the ghetto, you think they would be here? Your corner stores, your Chinese restaurants, your chicken spots, your supermarkets, do black people own them? We got to take more ownership of the things that we consume. That's how you circulate. If I'm paying you for your creations and the money goes to you, then it goes back into those creations, and those creations go out, and now you're making jobs. Now I'm supporting you, you're supporting other people, we're supporting. It's like a circle. You get it? We can't allow stuff like, and if we're gonna allow stuff like this is what we do to ourselves. This is why you have a lot of people that are able to scam within the financial field and entrepreneurial field, because we're so focused on the bling and the shiny things that we're willing to fall victim to everything. They use the same tool in network marketing though. Like network marketing, I hate it when they try to recruit me for that, because the recruitment process is often, they compliment you. They say, "Oh, you're very smart. I got, I've been working with my company doing this, that, and the third. I think you'd be a great asset to it because I know you make smart decisions." They keep on going with that. I know you make smart decisions. You seem like you're sharp with your money. You're good with your pause, right? Um, then like the second meeting is like the person that's trying to recruit you and the person that recruited them, and they're sitting down. And then every time I would sit down to talk to them, they'd pull out a dry erase board and start pointing at the dry erase board and drawing on it. I'm like, just talk to me. And oftentimes they finish drawing on that dry erase board and I wouldn't even get the answer that I was looking for. And they'd always start with, "Wow, you're so articulate." This comes off as racist as well when it's coming from white people. "Wow, you're so articulate." I wasn't even using any words that would express my level of being articulate. I was just talking. Just like that, I was just talking. So, but they use the same tactics. So then the next meeting is at someone who's higher up in the chain in this non-pyramid scheme, higher up in the chain that has been more successful in this business, and you're gonna hear this business, this business, this business, mad times. You go to their house or a meeting place or whoever's house they're meeting at. They set up this whole thing like it's a church, like you got the pews, you got the speaker, introduction, things of that nature. But one of the things the person who's trying to recruit me says, "Yo, look, that's his truck right there." I'm not even. I like what I like. You can't entice me with things that I don't like to make me like it. If I like it, I like it, I get it. or I may not get it and I just like it. But you're not gonna make me like it because if I don't like it, like it don't work like that. So showing me a brand new Range Rover, it's a Range Rover. I'm not a fan of a Range Rover. I don't want a Range Rover. Would I accept one? Yeah. Would I go out my way to buy one if I had the choice and got the money in my face to buy it? That's probably not. I'd probably use it for business and flip it. Somebody, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want it, so you can't make me want it. But I thoroughly feel like they thought that. I'm not sure if they use that network marketing tactic on that recruiting tactic on white recruits or potential recruits. I know they tried it with me and I was just offended. Maybe I'm just sensitive. I don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think below in the comments. Is this racist? Are we brainwashed? Do we need to come together? What can we do to change this? Do we even need to change this dynamic? Let me know below in the comments how you feel. Anything else that you've seen out there? What have been your experiences? Maybe in network marketing, maybe in at the job, in the office, and even in your community when you're dealing with people outside of your culture that think they know your culture or even appropriate your culture and use it against you or use it for their own benefits like most people do. Use it for their own benefits. And while you're there leaving your comment, make sure you hit the bell so you can get notifications and do most importantly, subscribe, y'all. Subscribe. I'm trying to increase this page. I have a goal to get to my first 1,000 subscribers by March. So by the end of March. Don't quote me. By the end of March. So if y'all can help me do that, that'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure y'all check me out on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. It's Keys_open doors with insightful opinions. This has been another segment. Peace.